What's up, y'all? It's your boy Gerald. It is the 2nd of August, 2015. It's also the end of your weekend. How is everybody doing? Hope you had a safe and blessed weekend. Yeah, I just got out of the shower. Um, Holy Spirit wanted me to convey this message, and I think it's time too. Um, so I'm throw this disclaimer. You see some like, hey, what's that? Yeah, my hair's wet. It is. So let me just get this out of the way now, because it's my hair. And I know some people are like, well, Gerald, you're not supposed to wet your dreads. But guess what? It's my hair. And I like having a clean scalp. And I look at it like this. If God didn't want me to grow my hair, he'd remove it. Just like he taught me through this journey. I've been wearing dreads now 2.5 years. I've cut it down a couple times. The whole reason for me with this journey was to teach me patience. You cannot be more patient than watching your hair grow, right? And I've learned so many things about myself. But the reason I'm putting this video out tonight, because I know that it's somebody right now, you are having issues with your emotions. You are doing everything in your power to keep it together. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And you're getting to a place that is very dark. And you're getting to a place where I don't like using the term I don't care, because that's really a point of illusion and really is nothing but denial, because we all know when people say I don't care, they really do. But you that emotional backpack is getting too heavy. You've had a lot of disappointment through the years. A lot of it stemmed even as far back as your childhood. And you're starting to lose grip. You're starting to lose footing in your life. Things that would be naturally fitting for you, you're coming up short. And it's starting to startle you. It's starting to have an impact on your health now. You're starting to see it resonate on your face, in your eyes. Speaking of that, my family, for those that use social media, Google Plus, here YouTube, any of the social media sites out there that are out there for the masses. Haven't you noticed when people post pictures, videos, they always use the same poses? Women do the side profile, or they do the poke your lip out. You know, I, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. That. Well, isn't it kind of ironic, especially to you, my queens? Has it ever dawned on you, the more that you contort your body out of its natural state, that's what causes wrinkles? That's what causes those crow's feet aside your mouth, aside your eyes, on the top of your brow. Let alone, I'm not going to even talk about the treatment that you do to your personal scalp. It all resonates from inside you. I'm a firm believer, y'all, that whatever your spirit has tied to itself, eventually it will be resonated in your physical form. That is why you always see this Haven't you noticed when you see people on that put images out there, put pictures out there, they always look tired? How about you, my queens? No matter how much makeup you try to put on your face, that beautiful face, you still see a weariness inside right here. That's why you hear the parable all the time. The window, the eyes are the window to the soul, because that is the truth. So whatever you got going on inside you, it's going to manifest itself in your physical presence. That's why you see this sometimes. Somebody going through something, going through a disappointment or a trauma, what do? They choose an outlet. It may be abusing alcohol, drugs. It may be something as subtle as comfort eating. But eventually what happens? It resonates on your physical form. And who benefits from that? The physicians do. Because now they get to prescribe you medication that you don't need. Which in actuality, the medicine that you really need is for your heart. Which brings me back to this video right here. When I, when I began my spiritual walk, this was October 11th, 2011. That was a moment that I surrendered my life to Christ. Even though I'd always strived to live a good life and be a decent man, there were still things about myself that I didn't have clarity on. A lot of it was from my past. I never took the time to sit down and look at the patterns that I willfully embraced. That's what denial does. Yes, we go through periods of time where we explore. Yes, we do things from impulse. But then what happens in the end? We always come up short. It's always never enough. And then what else occurs from that? Not only do you plateau, you got to take it up a notch just to get the feeling or the euphoric feeling that you had initially. Nobody wins there. You take a loss. So when I got to that place inside my spirit that I knew that, hey, from the outside it seemed like I had it going on, but inside I was hollow, I took a bended knee. I went through this phase where there were never enough tears. I just wanted the pain to go away. I just wanted clarity and solid footing in my life because I knew that I deserved it. So the first courageous thing that I decided to do was to come here. Yes, here. The very first video that I ever recorded was called, "When was the last time you told yourself you loved you?" Now, if you look at that video and you look at me now, you can easily say that those people, those two guys are not the same persons, the same people. But yes, that was me. I was broken and I wanted change. But I wasn't willing to settle for an easy fix because I always knew that I deserved to have the life intended for me. So I knew, because I always had a strong work ethic, that whatever I needed to do to have the clarity that I needed, I was willing to invest in it. So I started doing a lot of research. I started going around the internet. I started researching periodicals. I was currently, actually at that time, I was pursuing a double major for IT. I wanted to go into networking as well as web design. because I've always had a thing for computers. However, I realized a third of the way there in pursuing my degree, that wasn't my calling. My calling was to help people. And through synchronicity and divine will, I know it was done by my Lord Jesus Christ. He positioned me to be in the right place at the right time to hear something so pivotal that if it was a match, it was already lit inside my heart. I knew. Just so happened, I happened to be walking on campus, and a complete stranger walked up to me and asked something. It was something abstract. And, oh, directions. So I was giving him directions, and I was smoking a cigarette at the time, and I had an incoming call come in. So they were just standing there. So I take the call, I get off the phone, and there was another conversation going on, and that person was still there. And they were talking about a situation that, this is the other conversation, was talking about some, a relationship situation. And just so happened, I heard it, and I responded. And the way I responded, the people in the audience, the people that were there said, you know what? You sound like a counselor. Bingo. That right there started me on my way. But I also knew, how can you counsel anybody if you don't have yourself together? That makes you a hypocrite. Can't do that. So I started off heavily doing everything spiritual I could. I keep my Bible with me, spent a lot of time reading. I was literally eating the word. If the television was on, it was on one of those channels. And I have Fios. Fios only has 4 channels. But I spent a lot of time listening to what was being told, what was being conveyed. But the one thing that I learned was, don't get caught up in the messenger. Embrace the message. And I started to see and hear a pattern. And slowly but surely, I began to understand. I started to heal. I had a lot of pain inside my spirit, y'all. A lot of it came from my childhood. A lot of it came from a lot of disappointment through life. But as you already know, the world is not perfect. So I had to learn to fortify boundaries. I had to really learn to respect myself. But I also had to understand the power of free will. See, it was at that time, y'all, I realized that Gerald did not love Gerald as he needed to. Gerald loved himself how he wanted to. And then in turn, I was never receiving the outcome of what I was putting out. And I kept getting the short end of the stick, and I couldn't understand why. Now, mind you, you always hear this scenario. And it was funny, too, because in an odd kind of way, with the talk shows, and I kept seeing a common pattern with women, always saying there's no good men. I remember for like 2 years, if it was on TV, there was always somebody with a mic in their phone and a mic in their hand that's saying, there's no good men. Where are all the good men at? They don't exist. But I knew in my heart, that's not true. We exist, but you can't be a good man to anyone unless you're a good man to yourself first. So I made a declaration to love Gerald. And I'm not talking from a place of conceit or arrogance or ego or pride. Those things all end up in dead ends. I'm talking the little boy and the little girl that still exists in you now. You may recognize that as your conscience, but I also acknowledge it as my discernment. So I know there's some of you now that say, well, Gerald, I made some decisions and I've got a lot of shame, and I've been holding this shame as long as I can remember, and I just want to be free of this. Well, there's only one way that you can do that. Number one, you got to love yourself. Number two, you've got to allow yourself to heal. Number three, you have to learn to forgive. That means you got to forget, but you got to forgive. Forgive yourself. You don't owe that other person that wrongs you. If you're waiting for that other person to say that they're sorry for what they did to you, you'll be waiting a long time. I'm going to tell you why. Because I guarantee you 9 times out of 10, those people, they don't love each other either. So guess what? There's that law of attraction. You attracted each other. The traits that were found in them were found on you. Only difference is they got the jump shot off first. Doesn't make it right. And just so happened, it was your experience. But that doesn't mean it has to be the end-all be-all now, does it? If you think that your life, as you know it right now, is going to be all it's going to be, I'm here to tell you. No. It's just a flicker of your existence. But I'm going to tell you this too. Life without your spirituality as your guidance is a life unfulfilled. I know that some of you are saying, well, Gerald, I'm not the type of person that you're going to find up in some church, man. That ain't me. That's just not me. That's nothing but fear, first of all. Let's keep it 100. That's fear. You're afraid to do something different. You're afraid to step out of your comfort zone because you're afraid that your perception of how you're perceived by your environment may deem you as weak. How much is your life worth to you? How much is your smile worth? Let alone, how about that heart? It should be priceless. It should be worth the courage. Because trust and believe, this is the unfortunate part. Unfortunately, you're going to come in contact with people in your journey on this planet that will make a conscious decision not to grow. And these people want nothing more than to distract you from your walk. Now, mind you, I know some of y'all saying, well, it was all good yesterday, Gerald, and he up and dipped on me. Well, first of all, let's be honest. You were trying to invest in a stolen moment. So guess what? God still showed you favor and got that person out your life. In other words, what I'm trying to convey is this. The blessings that you have with your name on it will only come to pass the moment that you decide to live authentic to yourself. So with that being said, why would God show you favor and you're aligned with this person and he don't want you with that person? No, he's not going to do that because he knows that you're going to do one of two things. You're going to squander your blessing, or worse, you're going to allow someone to benefit off of you. No. So guess what? Your blessing is delayed. Or worse, depending on what your position is. You know, because God does get tired, and He'll take your blessing and give it to someone who will appreciate it. Happens all the time. There are people walking around this planet right now in regret, knowing that they should be where they should be, but because of their pride and ego, the life that they're living actually is not their own. It's the life they chose. But guess what? See that devil? That's the disclaimer he don't tell you. See, the devil already knows what you desire. Don't get it twisted. You can fool the people on this planet, but you can't fool your soul. You can't fool God. You can't fool the devil. So in turn, the devil gives you what you want. Yeah, you know those thoughts in the back of your head that you too embarrassed to talk about, but you think about it, and then you even act on them behind closed doors, hoping that it'll never come out. And guess what? The devil supplied you with those tools only to delay your life. That's why they don't last. But I told you guys that a long time ago. Anything that is created with man's hands already comes with an expiration date because it's not made for forever. Your spirit is forever. But guess what? It's your responsibility to cultivate it. You are the greatest resource and investment that you will ever come to know because there's only one you. So this goes back to my very first video. When's the last time you told yourself that you loved you? When's the last time you actually looked in the mirror and said, I love you? When's the last time? Some of y'all can't even do it because your pride and ego has you in a placement of insecurity. It's got you feeling that way because you don't know who you are. That is why your environment has more influence than you do. You should not be spending one moment playing pick up the pieces, damage control. Remember what I said yesterday to who I said it. Because these are things that are not of you, but they impact you. But see, you know what? The two gifts that God gave man was the ability to love himself and free will. Both these gifts come with a responsibility that only you can honor, no matter what. Because guess what? It's you that takes in that precious air. It's you that is able to touch, feel, smell, embrace this planet. Your sensations. It's yours. There'll never be another you. So I ask you all this. Why are you allowing your environment to dictate you? If you're in an environment that Stevie Wonder can see that there's no love there, why are you there? You should not wake up the same way you went to sleep, in depression, in denial, in depression. These things only do one thing: destroy you from the inside out. There's not a drug strong enough. There's not an alcohol that is so that you can drink to make you forget. Sure, you can black out, but even that has consequences, don't it? There's no gain in pain. There's not enough sexual euphoric release that's going to take that pain from your heart. That's why, my queens, I always tell you, stop. Stop looking for your mate. Prepare for him. If he is a man that does not know God, he does not know himself. And if he does not know himself, he will never know you. So why would you allow someone the most precious responsibility, which is your heart, your emotional well-being, other than being a best friend to yourself, they should be a close second, because they shouldn't want to put you in harm's way. But see, society don't want to tell you that. Society would prefer that you play the martyr and self-induce more pain. Why do you think there's so many ailments that have to deal with the neurological system than it was 10, 15 years ago? Do you not see the commonality? Last year, the commercial of choice was all about fibroids, now wasn't it? We all know how you get fibroids. Okay, so guess what? What did the Bible say? Your body is a temple. If you don't take care of your body's not going to take care of you. But what about that heart? What about that beautiful mind? Why are you constantly playing the hostage in your life? Why are you constantly ransoming your body to the highest bidder? For what? For temporary euphoric release? That's not love. That's lust. If he loved you that much, why hasn't your name changed? But see, I was having a conversation with somebody earlier today. And I was telling them, we were talking about relationships. I said, you know, I said, it's going to be kind of scary, the generations, the next two generations coming up, if they don't get it together, monogamy will be something of the past. But this is what I realized. The two things that I realized was this generation, if you're under 30 years old and younger, the main reason why you don't want to deal with monogamy because it requires you to invest in a place of truth. And this society and this generation has a microwavable mentality. I just want to pop it in, check back with it, and then get it. Quick, fast, in a hurry. Unlike what has worked and stood the test of time. The greatest investment is you, y'all. You're not supposed to be taking an L because you're on this planet. But it seems like more than ever, my queens, yeah, you know I'm coming for you. You're afraid to heal yourself. You treat your relationships like two buses. Before you've properly allowed yourself to heal, you jump on the next thing going the other direction only to do more damage to yourself. But more importantly, Allow someone access to you that don't even know your middle name. How crazy is that? But guess what? What about the people that are connected to you? Some of y'all got kids involved. You think they're not picking up, watching everything that you do? There's a responsibility to your life to be the best you can. So that goes back to what I said before. When's the last time you said you loved yourself? When's the last time you went inside that heart? When's the last time you decided to take stock and accountability of your reality? If you're somewhere where you know that's not where you're supposed to be, why are you there? That's a choice, y'all. Nobody's strongholding you where you are. You choose to be there. But then I know my king's just saying this. Yeah, you're right, Gerald. She's full of drama. All she want to do is argue. I can't even talk to her. She want to bite my head because she broken. She broken. She's emotionally broken. So let's go back to that investment. If you love her, why won't you do the right thing and get her some counseling? You're going to benefit from it. But guess what? You got to be able to call a spade because 9 times out of 10, you're broken too. So, you're both agreeing to dance in confusion. And ain't nothing good going to come out of that. Y'all know what I'm talking about, y'all. You see it all the time. You decide to go out, and it be that one couple be arguing in the parking lot. Damn, they're beating each other up. Next thing you know, 45 minutes later, they all lovey-dovey on each other. But God forbid you step in between that, and they both jump on you. That's dysfunction, y'all. Misery loves company. And sometimes people do stuff just for attention, just to stay relevant in your life. So once again, when's the last time you told yourself you love you? Because if you loved yourself, why are you going through all this misery? Why won't you invest in, finally, I'll say, you know what? I'm tired of holding on to this baggage that I've been carrying. And go in it. Look at what is broken and make a conscious decision to repair it for yourself. Don't worry about the other parties because everybody's got to do their own work. But I will tell you this, y'all. If they genuinely love you, why wouldn't they? That's why we got free will, y'all. It's a choice. It's a choice. So is regret. It's a choice. So what is your heart telling? I know somebody right now, your heart is jumping through the darn screen right now because you know everything I'm telling you is the truth. It's time for you to stop running from yourself. You're not going to find peace of mind in the next man's bed or the next woman's bed. How many lies you going to tell yourself? And guess what? They get the benefit and laugh about it, and they then on to the next one. But guess what? This is what we don't look about. We don't think about. There is something called a spiritual storm. You may know it as karma. And guess what? Eventually, like I said, God will get out of your own way. And whatever he was protecting you from, you are going to embrace tenfold. And guess what? It could be somebody that is 10 times just like you. And just like the predator compared to the prey, you are now the prey. And they're going to break those rough edges off of you. And unfortunately, you're going to go through everything that you've done to other people. That's how life works, y'all. One person's happy, another person's sad. You may know it as yin and yang, positive, negative, or cause and effect, but it all is divine because God don't make mistakes. Please believe that. Everything is done by design, His will. And His will shall be done, because until you decide to lean onto His understanding, you won't know where you're going. You won't. You'll just be on that Ferris wheel of misery. And you know what happens to those people? Those people that are so prideful, they end up inheriting a life by themselves. They run out of time. That's what happens. So make a conscious decision. Now, I'm not talking about the person that you portray yourself to be, because that person that you portray yourself to be is assertive and strong. No, apply that to yourself. When's the last time you picked up a journal and wrote down your thoughts? How about make a list of pros and cons of what works compares to what doesn't? And then write a list of what you would like to change about yourself. And I guarantee you'll see a commonality on the people that you attract in your life. It's time for you to see the truth, right? So before you can speak it, you got to be able to see it. But before you can speak it, you got to embrace it inside you, because there's only one you, and you're beautiful. So you're going to let another day be stolen from you? You're going to continue to place yourself in environments that only have death and destruction waiting for you? Trust and believe. Somebody left out their house today and ain't going to make it back tonight, because nobody's promised tomorrow. Think about that. You know that little hash between your birth and death date? That's your life. If you were to die today, what would your life what would it stand for? What would you be known for? See your worth. Speak your truth. You're worth it. So I'm going to ask you again. When's the last time you asked yourself? When's the last time you told yourself you loved you? Some of y'all just need to cry. But I'm going to tell you this like I've been telling you. If you got a full-time job, you got insurance benefits. Just for validation, you get two visits to a therapist. Just go talk to somebody. The worst thing they can do is say, you know what? You got it going on. No, you straight. There's your validation. You good. Or they can show you something new to help put that smile back on your face. Some of y'all are living a double life. Some of y'all gotta have that morning hook. Gotta be zooted out before you go to work just to deal with things outside your door. And you're wondering why you're paranoid. That ain't nothing but the devil trying to rob your life. Come on now. Claim your life. Claim you. You're worth it. All right, y'all. As I always say, God is praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. I really do. And for that, it helps me discern mine. I really believe this is the summer, y'all, that's going to have a lot of breakthroughs, a lot of clarity, and a lot of understanding that is long overdue. I believe there are going to be people that are going to finally have the courage to mend those fences, but more or less take those stones out of their heart. And when you do, guess what? Everything that was waiting for you on the other side of that breakthrough will be received, because it was intended, but more importantly, it was blessed. Come on, y'all. You can do it. Love to hear from you. Have a great week, okay? All right now. Bye.